Hello, my wonderful friend. Thank you for coming back to my channel. Thank you for watching the videos. And today I'm sharing with you a wonderful recipe of a cookie, my Christmas cookie. Christmas is in the house, and this is probably the fourth or the fifth cookie I'm making right now. And this one is a special cookie. It's cardamom cookie. Don't turn the video off. Watch it. It is delightful. It is delicious. Kids love it. It's extremely fragrant. And cardamom happens to be one of my favorite spices. It's warm, it's fragrant, delightful. Let's start. Just try it. The worst case, what? It's gonna taste great, I promise. Start with 2 sticks of butter. My magic processor. Soft butter. When I start making these cookies, I put tons of butter, leave it on the counter for, I don't know, half a day to soften up, and then it's just my supply. It sits there. I still have quite a few sticks to go through. So we put 2 sticks of butter and 3/4 cups of sugar. And you know what? I don't buy bleached sugar. I buy slightly darker sugar. It's not processed. One less processing is good. So let the sugar beat. In the meantime, I need 1.5 tablespoons of orange zest. I promised you they are extremely fragrant. And we would need 1 egg yolk. It's already in the plate, in the bowl, and I will zest probably 1.5 our great California tornado oranges from Florida. I used to live in Florida, and when I was moving after I graduated from my MBA, I was driving and seeing all these orange groves and palm trees. It seemed like heaven. I'm from Ukraine, so I've never seen so many orange trees, orange groves in my life, so it felt so good. So I will zest, we'll see, to have 1.5 tablespoons. Probably need 2 oranges, depending on the size. And they smell so good. You need also some heavy cream. They are crumbly. I shape them as little sticks, as fingers. They're extremely easy to shape. I'll show you when I'm ready to start to bake. So I probably have a teaspoon here. And I'm micrograding 1 more orange. The first time I made these cookies, cardamom cookies, every year for Ukrainian, for the Orthodox Christmas, which is 2 weeks after Catholic, after American Christmas, I usually give a box of cookies for my children to take to school and share it with the class. So they know their tradition. We always celebrate 2 of each. 2 Christmases, 2 Easters, because our calendar is different. It's the Gregorian calendar and Julian calendar from Julius Caesar. And because one is older and the other one is newer, Catholic is a newer version of the calendar, there is some time gap. All right. 2 oranges zested. Now my sugar creamed up. Get all the. So I made a box, and I usually put all sorts of wonderful cookies in. And I had second thoughts. At that point, they were still in the kindergarten. And I had second thoughts about the cardamom cookies. I thought, what if the kids wouldn't like them? Kids love them and asked for seconds. So the butter didn't beat properly. So I'll have to leave it for a little bit longer. But let's add other ingredients. Cookie making is very forgiving, so you don't have to make a science experiment. 1 egg yolk, our zest, orange zest, 1.5 tablespoons, give or take. I try to be precise when I'm baking, but usually my cooking style is very creative. I look at the recipe, I know exactly how it's going to taste. Just by way of my style of cooking is very intuitive. So I sort of visualize it right away and I know how it will taste, if it's a good recipe or not. And let's just finish and put all the ingredients before I get carried away. 1 teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of heavy cream, so I try to be very precise when I bake, not quite as creative or free-willed when I cook. And then we need 1.5 teaspoons of ground cardamom. I love it, and you will like it too. Just try it. 1.5 teaspoons. Okay, and 2.5 cups of flour. I'm gonna put everything in and let the machine do the magic of mixing. Thank God that we have these machines. So when the kids tried these cookies and they loved them, they went for seconds for this kind. And I make wonderful cookies and they're all equally delicious. I knew this is a winner, so that's why I'm encouraging you to try it. So 2.5 cups of flour, 1.5 teaspoons of tablespoons of grated orange zest. I don't know where this recipe comes from, but I've had it for many years. 1.5 teaspoons of ground cardamom, 1 teaspoon of salt, 2 sticks of unsalted butter softened, 3/4 cup sugar, 1 large egg yolks, 2 tablespoons of heavy cream. The machine does the mixing. When the dough is done, I'm gonna wrap it in a plastic wrap, send it to the fridge to chill for hours. I'm gonna continue with it tomorrow, and I'll show you how I shape it and bake it, and then roll it in the powdered sugar. It is delightful.
1, 2, 3.
All right, so now this dough is chilled. Now let's shape these cardamom cookies. I'm gonna cut it into chunks, and then, you know what, the reason these are so much fun to make, because you can engage the kids. It's like Play-Doh. What I will do is I will roll sausage. A sausage, you don't need this much butter, but I will shape these cookies, not butter, I meant flour. I will shape these cookies into fingers or sticks. You can cut them into shapes, but I observed that when they're shaped like these, A, it's very easy to shape them, and B, so this is less than an inch in thickness. And I'm gonna roll every piece like this, and then I cut it under the bias. like gnocchi. We have similar dish in Ukraine. It's called palchiki, and this is exactly how they're shaped. So the kids could help you make these. My kids are doing homework, and I'm the only one here in the kitchen. My husband is filming me. Thank you. So very easy. And once I'm done shaping, I'm gonna put them, just 1 second. I have to have my recipes. I will be baking them at 350 until the edges are golden brown, from 9 to 12 minutes. You have to see how your oven bakes. And when they come out, I will dunk them in the powdered sugar, which will stick to the hot surface. And that is it. If you could smell it, Mishka, can't you smell my cat? Can't you smell the cardamom and orange? As he's shaking his head. But as I'm rolling these are extremely fragrant. And when they bake, they will be even more, but in a pleasant way. And this is basically it. And once they come out of the oven, I'll show you how they look. So the cookies came out of the oven. You can let them rest a little bit or not. They are not supposed to be all, crunchy, crumbly. They are a little bit soft to the touch. What I like to do, and they will harden, don't worry. I like to take them off gently because I already broke one. So if you wait a minute or two for them to cool off, that wouldn't be such a bad idea. But I want to show you how I finish them. What I do is, take a spoon and sprinkle them with some powdered sugar. And the sugar sticks to the cookies when they're hot. Okay, and then I'll put another layer and another layer, and basically they'll be all gently covered with sugar. The sugar will stick to them. You can do that when they're a little bit cooler. And that is essentially it. This is the cookie. It is extremely fragrant. They are soft, but when they cool down, they'll be a little crumbly, harder on the outside, and soft, and it's orange and a little cardamom. Nobody knows the flavor of cardamom when they're buried in the orange. It's not as pungent as you might think, but it is delightful. So these are the cookies. I tossed them in the powdered sugar. I let them cool off just a little bit. And they're quite delicate. I'm gonna saran wrap them so they keep the fragrance inside, they don't dry up. And I'll show you how I package them in a different movie.